Hey everybody, Graz, AJ's behind the camera.
Hello.
I've got AJ as the camera person today because I'm going to be talking about a book that the Dot is planning on reading, and I don't want to spoil it for her because I'm going to do a comprehensive downs and ups. Um, so what I'm going to be talking about today, and you already know because you clicked on it, but How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. Uh, is that good?
Yep.
Okay. Um, this is part of my spooky scary skeleton readathon. This fulfills one of the prompts, which was orange on the cover or in the title, and that's orange. So, and it's really cool. I can't show you on camera, but the windows of the house are painted with or colored with a different thing. So when you look at it in the light, they stand out. It's really neat. Um, anyway, the cover for this was designed by Emily Osborne. Uh, so I thought I would say that because I like to tell you about the covers. Whoops. um, bookmarks and whatnot. So that's the book we're going to be talking about today, and I've got my paper. So basically, and I remembered, if Nikki from Writing for Jesus, if you watch this, I remembered. This book is basically, Louise lives in, I think, California, and her family's from Charleston, I think that's West Virginia, and her mom and dad die suddenly in a car accident, and her brother Mark, who still lives near home, calls her, and she decides to go home and help him deal with the estate and the will and everything, the funeral. And it turns out that basically her mom had kind of not really accepted death of other people and kind of hid from life and put most of her energy into these dolls and puppets that she made. And so one of them eventually got possessed by something. And the book is basically about Mark and Louise, who are the brother and sister. They have to work together to try and exorcise whatever's haunting this doll so that they can move ahead with selling the house and actually saving some lives, because the doll is very much like a succubus. You get the puppet on your hand. It's a puppet, not really a doll. I guess there's a difference. But you get it on your hand and it starts to take you over. And his name is Pupkin, and he's terrifying. So that's what the book is about. And it's I'm not counting the reader's guide at the end. It's like 420 pages. So I am going to go through my downs and ups. I usually start with the downs so that we can kind of finish, on a good note. So I'm just going to jump in and get talking because this video is probably going to be a little bit lengthy. Sorry for all of you that like it shorter. My number one down is I kind of felt like Mark and Louise, the animosity between them felt forced after a certain point, because it kind of felt like they were getting along and they had made up. I mean, they were eating dinner together, and they had said nice things about the funeral and everything, and it just kind of felt like it was forced to keep it going. So that kind of dragged me down a little bit. And then there's Ian, who is Louise's ex, whatever. It never really says husband, boyfriend, whatever. It just says ex. But they have a kid together, and when she goes home to do the funeral and stuff, she leaves their daughter with Ian, Poppy's the daughter, her dad. And every time that Louise tries to FaceTime or whatever it's called, video call with Poppy, Ian is way too antagonistic and very impatient I mean, especially considering the situation she's in. I mean, she flew across the country to help her brother take care of her parents' estate, and because they died suddenly in a car accident, both of them. I mean, you can't have a little patience. I felt like that was. I mean, I'm sure it was a good choice for some people, but I was just like, man, this guy needs to take a chill pill. Number 3, there's a spot when Mark and Louise are fighting Pumpkin and his minions, because he can make other dolls and puppets come to life and attack. And Mark ends up with it on his hand. And they can't take it off because Pumpkin, once he gets on you, he's a real being, and he like grips. So he tells Louise, just go ahead and do it. And she takes the table saw or the circular saw or whatever it was, and she cuts his arm off. About right there. He told her to do it. She did it to save his life and hers. And then the rest of the book, he just makes her feel guilty and just acts like a real tool about it. And I was just like, seriously, you told her to do it. You knew that it was important. Don't make somebody feel guilty. Number 4, they're there for, I guess, like 2 weeks, maybe more. And neither one of them ever talk about going to work or getting a hold of a boss or anything. But they have plenty of money to buy food and hotel rooms and stuff. It's like, okay, don't these people have jobs? I seem to remember Louise does something remote or online, but still, doesn't she have to like do it? And then my 5th down, there's a big, huge chunk of this book, which is Mark taking over the narrative or narration or whichever, and talking about his college time and why he dropped out of Boston University, and it's basically all Pumpkin's fault. And okay, it could have been told in maybe 1 chapter, but it goes on for a really long time, and there's characters that are brought in that really aren't important, and it feels like padding or filler to me. I just didn't think it was necessary. I mean, you could have told that story, like I said, in 1 chapter and then moved on, or in a short chapter at that. But those are my only downs. They might sound like nitpicks, but I mean, like I said, this book, I haven't said anything about how I felt about the book yet, but you might be getting an idea because of my downs. I thought I heard something, sorry. The dog's outside making noise. He wants to come in. He knows we're doing something without him. Mm-hmm. That clicking noise is him on the window. Okay, now my ups. Okay? And I kind of have 6. There's 5, and then there's just like an authored note up. You'll see. So number 1, this gave me honest to goodness chills in the dark. I read this, and the puppets were moving, and their eyes were following people, and you'd look, and you'd look away, and you'd look back, and they were in a different position. And then the night after I read a section like that, I went to bed, and in the dark, I sleep with fans running. I can't sleep with it quiet. Not real quiet, I mean the fans, I don't like city noise or anything, but every rustling sound was like puppets coming to get me, and it was giving me chills, and my hair was standing up on my arms and stuff. So I really have to give it to Hendrix on that. He really wrote a terrifying book. And then my number 2 is, it's really simple. I don't think I have to expound on this. I just wrote puppets, more, and yes please. I mean, if they're coming to life and they're scary, who isn't at least a little bit freaked out by that? Number 3, the exorcisms, because there's more than one, they felt real. They really did. And even the religious lady who believed in demons was like making it believable. I mean, it was really well researched and really well written. Number 4, it's not really a I'm happy about it up, but the final reasoning behind why Pupkin was possessed and why he was so determined to just own this family pretty much, and he wanted the mom back. It was really, really sad, and it just breaks your heart. It crushes you because of what happened. There are minor spoilers in here that I'm talking about, but I'm not going to give away the big plot points. But yeah, it's just so sad. And then my fifth up is kind of interesting because when Louise and Mark were little, they wanted a dog, and the mom said no. I'm allergic to dogs, even though she was lying. She just didn't want to have to take care of a dog. Because, little kids, they want something and they always say, I'll take care of it. And then in like a week, you're taking care of it. So, so instead, Mark invents an imaginary dog. And he calls it Spider. And he's 5, so he uses his imagination to create it. So the dog is huge. I mean, like, as big as a car. It's got giant, like, swords for teeth, and it has 6 legs. And Pupkin uses his whatever to meld with the imagination, and he basically makes Spider real later. But I thought that just the simple fact of how he was created with the 6 legs and the teeth and everything, it's a neat touch to childhood imagination. I thought that was kind of cool. All right, now my author footnote up. I've now read 2 books by Grady Hendrix. Obviously, How to Sell a Haunted House, and I did. I'm pretty sure I did a Downs and Ups last year for the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I hated that. It was terrible. This book here, How to Sell a Haunted House, is orders of magnitude better than that. I mean, maybe I'll read something else that he wrote that I'll like too, as much as this, but yeah. So now I'm going to go over the numbers. Those are my downs and ups. If you have anything to add, or if you want to know anything else, then let me know, and we'll try to work it out in a non-super spoilery way. On Goodreads, for some reason, this has a 3.69 out of 5. And that's over 119,921 ratings and 20,929 reviews. It was published in 2023. Like I said, it actually has 417 pages. My rating for it is 8.69 out of 10. It's my number 9 book of the year through through the start of October, because I read it this month in October. So it's number 9 of the year so far for me, and I've finished, I think, 114 books. So pretty good. Now, just to let you know, the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires got a 5.15 out of 10. So this thing is like almost, not quite double, but it's basically a 2.5 versus like almost 4.5. Night and day. So, and if you want to know why I didn't like the vampire book, then maybe search it and look for my review. I go in depth like this a little bit. But yeah, this is my downs and ups for How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. And I just noticed it's kind of neat. It's not one, but it has a little penguin on it. It's not a penguin, but it has one on it. Kind of neat. So, like I said, if you've read this, let me know if you agree or disagree. Just remember, opinions are opinions. And like I said, if you wanted to know more, let me know. And again, Nikki, if you watch this, let me know how I did with your suggestion of maybe giving a minor synopsis of the book before I get into my stuff. Because that's what she suggested. I usually just go right into my thoughts, and I forget to tell people what the book is about. Well, this is the 14th of October. I am, well, not just me. The whole GKBC is 14 for 14 on Videotober. Something I just kind of came up with. We've done 14 videos, one per day, through October 14th. So I'm pretty happy with that. Providing I can get this uploaded before midnight. Because as of right now, of me talking, it is like 20 after 10 at night. So it all depends on the internet speed. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you thought. And I guess I will see all of you down the road.
Reading more.